Hello friends, peace be upon you. Today I will talk about light beam, rays, or streaks. Light is seen coming out of the clouds. Light looks like coming from behind the clouds. Let's get started. Create a new blank layer. Look at the light here in this area. So, I first set the default color to black and white, and set white as the foreground color. And I paint something like this on this area with a brush. Change blend mode to linear dodge, add. We don't see anything here, right now. I open the blending options by double-clicking on the layer. Uncheck Transparency Shape Layer. If I check or unchecked it, there is a clear change in shape. In Blend If, move dark slider of underlying layer to right side. So, it will appear as if it is behind the clouds. I zoom out and bring the image to the front. Press Alt, and click on slider to apart it. So, with adjustments our light looks something like this. Now, if I move it, it's like this light is behind the clouds. This white stroke of ours has gone behind the clouds like a light. If I select this area, to give more light. So, this area is also correct and as if it is a moon. The moon can be seen because it is a night scene. After that we will do the next thing. Here I use a soft round brush. And I make the size of this brush a little bigger. And I paint it a little like this here. So, this kind of effect will be seen here. It's too spread out, so I'll transform it with Ctrl+T. And we'll reduce its size here. I will reduce its size to what you see now. And this is the effect of the light behind the clouds. And even after shortening if it needs to adjust. So, with the help of these sliders we can further reduce this light. And the light should look downwards, and not upwards. So, we can reduce it, then hit OK. Now, I click on this light, and move it with the mouse. So, it is like a light behind the clouds. We've adjusted it to look like it's behind light clouds. I take it back to its original position. Now, here I have to create light rays or streaks. For this I will apply some brush strokes here. I will set the brush for these strokes. After selecting the brush I make it smaller. After that I open the brush panel. In Shape Dynamic, I increase its size. Make it 55%. Select Scattering. Increase value of scattering up to 422%. Make spacing 46% and hardness 100%. Increase spacing more, till 69%. Next is to further reduce the size of the brush. And something like this I have to apply brush strokes. It looks like light is coming out from inside the cloud. I was kidding, it wasn't. Now, we will do the next thing. Create a new blank layer here. We will convert this layer to a smart filter. So, that if we want to change the filter we apply, we can do it. Go to Filter, Blur, Radial Blur. We still have to adjust here, so our center point turns out. So I'll set it on the draft, and apply this effect. Make amount to 100% and hit OK. It is not center point. I would adjust it slightly to the left side and upwards. After doing OK, it is also not the center point. So, if we do it a little bit on the right side, maybe this is our center point. That's why we converted the layer to Smart Filters. That we can set the setting that we have to set, again and again. Now, it almost turns out to be our center point. Now, we will render rays in best quality. So, in best quality our rays will look like this. Change blend mode to Screen. We have to keep the light source as it is, but blur the outer ridges. We will also create a mask on this layer. We'll do the mask work later. First we'll apply a filter to the layer. Go to Filter, Blur Gallery, Field Blur. This is our first point. We will move it to the center point. And we will continue to create points where we should see blur. And at the points where we want to reduce the blur, we can also reduce it. Then click OK. Now select the mask we created. We will increase the brush size a bit, and keep the foreground color black. Here. If we increase the size of the brush, I'm undoing these strokes. Because, before my brush was hard. Whereas, I want a soft round brush. And, then by increasing the size of the brush, reduce opacity to 70% and give strokes on rays. So, that the lights we don't want to see are deleted. I am removing these lights from here. Now, it's fill percent if I reduce. And, keep such percentage where it suits me. That is, it seems as if the lights are coming out from behind the clouds. It will look something like this. There is another way to give the light effect. Disable this layer, and create a new blank layer. Go to Filter, Render, Clouds. So these clouds are rendered. Lower its opacity, so I can see the background as well. Pick Elliptical Marquee tool. And make an oval selection. Now create a layer mask on this layer. And I set the opacity of this layer back to 100%. The remaining area has been hid, but the oval shape remains. Now, to blur its edges. So, I'll open the properties of that layer. And in properties I give it feather. As much feather as I find suitable. After feathering, I apply this layer mask. So, this layer will be something like this. Go to Filter, Blur, Radial Blur. And I make it OK by placing it in any place in the best quality. Now, this blur is not our blur. These aren't some lightning streaks. Change blend mode to Screen. Press Ctrl+T to transform it. From above, I squeeze it inwards. And below, I spread it. And I'll repeat the radial blur step again. I will also reduce the opacity of this layer. So, this is how a light effect would look like. the bottom layer effects look better. We enable both these effect layers together. And further reduce the opacity of the cloud render layer. Make it 25%. This reel got a little long, from which I also got to learn something. I hope you like this video. And if you like, then press like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.